Vito, where are we going to go? We've seen 2 Oregons in a row. We're not going to go to bank, obviously, because every team played it under the sun. Clubhouse Border's gone, Consulate is also gone, Villa, and, well, at least next play day we know we're not going to go to Oregon because we got 3 Oregons in a row. You are very excited.
I mean, why I'm excited, Parker?
Why are you excited, Michael?
Because when you cast the next... No, when I... Yeah, 31st...
This is my last EU broadcast.
The 31st. So when I cast the next European play day, there won't be any Oregon.
You and Milos will be casting the next EU play day on the 31st because I'll be off that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because Oregon's gone now.
I'll be at home, hair up, no makeup, chilling in sweatpants.
Hair up?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
No makeup, chilling in sweatpants.
You don't wear makeup.
How do you think this is going to shake out? G2 versus Chaos. Chaos currently sits in 3rd place, or at least started the day in 3rd place, but that doesn't matter to you because 71% of you think that it's going to be G2, despite the fact that they are in the bottom half of the rankings. And they didn't win against Empire yesterday. There's a lot on the line for both of these teams. G2 has a golden opportunity to prove that this is a return to form, and if they clobber Chaos, then, well, G2 is back in action. We saw G2 kind of get their footing through the latter half of their matchup against Empire. Chaos need to prove that their hot start to this season, looking so damn good, wasn't just a flash in the pan. This is their opportunity to do so. Oregon is a pretty interesting battlefield. You can be very conservative on it, you can take up lots of map control, or you can be exceedingly aggressive. The world is your oyster. And we'll get underway with the first ban, and it will be Chaos, as they will be starting on defense. What are they going to ban, Michael?
Glass.
Wow, that was really good. You got that right before they picked it.
I know, I'm crazy. Wait. Dokkaebi. You see his freaking face.
I know what you're doing here, all right. Dokkaebi and Glaz being banned out. This is likely going to be a Mira ban from G2. And then we'll move on from there. But it's going to be a Maestro ban, actually, instead. And Maestro is an operator that actually sees a lot of use for Chaos.
That's true, and getting rid of it's going to be huge.
I believe it's Renewals who plays the Maestro most of the time.
Mira.
Mira will be our last ban. So nothing too out of the ordinary there with the bans.
Got 4 out of 4 there, Parker. Are you proud of me?
I'm always proud of you.
Aw.
There's going to be a smoke in place, so laundry room is going to be easier to defend, so a supply room for the teams. Interestingly enough, we see Mira banned 100% today, so her ban rate was, what, 80%? Her number's going to go
something
up.
like 83 or something.
It was 80 on the dot, Michael.
Was it really 80 on the dot?
Yes.
What you sure it wasn't like 80.1?
80 on the dot.
We don't do the decimals.
So anyway, with Mira banned 100% of the time, that rate is going to continue to increase. Smoke banned twice. This will be the first time we see Oregon without a smoke. Also, noticeably absent is the Capitao.
Yeah, the Capitao is going to be 6-picked into there by G2.
Off of the Montaigne.
Which is curious because Montaigne is a very powerful force for the attackers and one of those more common bans, especially in Europe specifically. But G2 clearly not wanting to bring him. I'm guessing they were expecting basement defense, but that wouldn't make sense either because they're bringing the Thermite instead of the Habana. So they just have a plan, I suppose, to attack top floor with the Capitao. Quite interesting. I'd like to see what G2 is going to show us. This is a bit of a test. We were talking about this in the what's the word I'm looking for? Interim. Yes, we were talking about this in the interim. Actually, how G2 haven't really been living up to the expectations that people put on their shoulders recently in the season, and how this match right here is a test for them. And on the other side, I think you said it right in the lead into the match. We're trying to figure out here for Chaos if their early success was, as you said, a flash in the pan. So there's a lot of storyline for this match, and it's going to be even more interesting how it plays out. Like, for example, even if G2 wins here, even if they take the win, if it's like, for example, 7-5, then that's not going to be good for G2. Not in this situation.
The big things to keep note of are the way that G2 is capable of entering. And there you go, Fabian on the buck, and there will be 2 kills very early for G2 as Fabian and Kanto Ricchetti collected double. Kanto very low on HP. Vitalin at the top of the laundry stairs, looking to see if he can possibly pick off Kanto Ricchetti, and he'll rotate across all the way to Meeting Hall.
Secretly on a long angle here with the shotgun. Vital's going to take out Kanto, but refragged by Fabian. Fabian doing some great work with the skeleton key from below and secretly trying to use these angles to his advantage. Will do a little bit of damage to Fabian, but it's not enough to get a down or a kill, so not going to be a full recovery here for Chaos as they find themselves in a 2 versus 4. And with 2 minutes left to go, the aggression for G2 really paying off, and that's really been the story of the day. We're playing Oregon a lot. The aggression is going to be the name of the game, and G2 are the ones to show it early on here.
Pengu just waiting very patiently, and one thing that G2 has already done better, even though it is the first round, was their entry and their drone work. I think Pengu's expecting somebody inside of admin as Chaos have one body over there. And there you go, trying to draw Crips out. He sees the rappel line, but Pengu is just low enough to evade the sight of Crips. Dangerous, though, prospect for Chaos, because that leaves secretly on site by himself.
He's looking to position himself better, trying to catch an opponent off guard, and this position at the top of White Stairs could potentially be a really great spot for him to play, but I gotta agree with you. I think Crips needs to try to get off this Pengu and go back to site.
And the bigger thing here is that there's no read from G2. Kids is free right now. You can just go right in. There's no site control whatsoever. Is going to force Crips to try to get back to site as he's the only member of Chaos left. Go getting plant down. This is where it gets really tough for Crips. He's going to have to go through these singular doorways and his position's been given away. You got Fabian prone on the floor. He makes quick work of Crips. It's a 3K for the Swedish captain, and G2 will take round number 1 pretty convincingly.
Yeah, that's the dominance that we expect to see from G2. A well-orchestrated attack there. It all started with their extremely quick take into the Kitchen. Once they had control of Kitchen, they shut down the roamers and just went for a pretty standard take up into the top floor because they had such a man advantage, there was nothing that could really halt them.
The one thing I noticed about G2 was their entry with Kanto, as well as Fabian, very well orchestrated. You had Pengu and Gogon drones, things worked out quite well, and you were able to capitalize on the fact that Chaos was a little bit out of the loop. You got 2 very early kills. Yeah, it got traded back. But I don't know if it was just simply poor use of the drones, but G2 had the full site to themselves. They had the Smoke, who was playing over by Generator, and that was it. And then Smoke walked over to the top of White. Kids was completely open. Pengu sat on Rappel and had every opportunity to go into Kids' dorms and take control.
Well,
and then push onto White as well.
If he had tried to repel in, he would have died to the Bandit, to be fair.
I mean, right, but you can drone and you can make that call and then try to force Crips to fight that.
I agree with that.
4 bodies up for G2 versus 2 on Chaos' side of things.
It was definitely some slow play from G2.
Maybe they were out of drones, I would imagine.
I gotta be honest, there might be something going on with G2 in terms of the mental game. If you think about it, with their recent track record, they've got to be thinking to themselves, we have to win, we have to win, we have to win. Okay, so let's look at the first 2 matches we had today. Empire versus Lestream is the top 2 teams in Europe. And that's, well, it's dominant in favor of Empire. But you know what they didn't show? They didn't show a worry. No, I mean, they had pretty basic strategies, but they set themselves up to counter their opponent. They were pretty tactical.
I'm pretty sure they were saying strats.
It was secretly going to be getting a fight by the west window, but he will lose it. And he really shouldn't have.
Was Jonas even droned in?
No.
It did not look that way.
Jonas just won his fight. Very good gunplay by this Finnish player here. And that's what we expect to see from Finnish players.
ACOG close range against the MP7 of Secretly. That's a tough fight to win. And
he won
ultimately, that's a big victory for Jonas in that encounter.
Yeah. So yeah, we saw in the Empire versus Stream match, kind of reckless abandon. Same thing in Ents versus Penta, to be honest, and those are 2 higher ranked teams. Secret versus Mockit, these 2 teams that are on the lower end of the leaderboard, they were very cautious. And we're seeing a little bit of that displayed here as well in Chaos versus G2, because why? Neither of these teams have really been able to get as many points as they want to be getting in this season, and every one of these matches means so much more to them because of that.
Meeting all control is pretty standard for a basement defense, as Chaos have realized that, okay, let's not do dorms, let's go downstairs. Glaz being banned by Chaos is really smart because that's moved Jonas onto something else, which is going to be the Capitao, right? But Crips might have given his position away. He fired a couple shots up to Jonas as Jonas crossed in front of Attic. And if Jonas was paying attention and comms weren't too loud, then you know that there's going to be at least one person down in that lobby. Crips had taken out Jonas just a second there and put Chaos on equal footing with G2. Both Renewals and Crips will have to move towards that main lobby at some point. G2 is distracted for the moment. They've gotten the hatch open, and they can begin to dump as many of the bullets at their disposal down towards the wall and laundry. It's going to be a push down those laundry stairs by 2 members of G2. This is both Fabian and Pengu, who are taking up residency there.
You can see G2 have the setup. It's proper, it's ready, but there's plenty of counter utility in play for Chaos, including that smoke and Vito. The Skeleton Key is going to be used to try and take out the Legion, and it will be successful. Cantor Ketty also gets one for himself as he goes into the site, and wow, what a sweep from G2. Absolute clear. There was nothing really at all that Chaos showed us in the actual site take there to lead us to believe that they might be able to take the round. Every engagement went the way of G2. And
we're collapsed on them, really. Sorry, what were you going to say?
2-0 G2?
That's correct.
Yeah. Can't win with that, so it, you know, isn't really a thing, but...
Why did you say it then?
I don't know. You asked me what I was going to say, and what I was going to say isn't actually important at all, so I just said something else. Laundry, again, for Chaos, and... considering how that last round played, I'm surprised they're not going to go to the top floor, to be honest. Both of these rounds have been absolutely all G2. But
attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
This is like picking between... it's really hard to measure, I got to say, but I think the basement attack from G2 was slightly more dominant than the top floor attack.
Yeah, things collapsed for Chaos very fast there. They lost a body up top just secretly in kind of a very odd set of circumstances with Jonas just vaulting in through the window. Secretly should have been able to win that fight. Meeting all control was largely ignored. And then after that, well, the transition was just effortless. And you picked up 4 kills for G2 in, what, 3 seconds? 4 seconds?
5 seconds left.
Something like that.
You also saw that, somewhat puzzlingly, Renewals set down a mute jammer over in Tarp with only right in the dying moments of that round, likely to try and stop information collection coming from over on Tarp. But why are you going to have a drone over there when there's so little time left in the round? I was a little confused as that play.
He was secretly going to take out Jonas, and he's going for another.
He'll win that fight.
So, I mean, he got the Capital. That's huge. That's going to be one of the most important operators for the attacking team when attacking the basement specifically. Hey, there's that aggression we were talking about. Remember that?
Yeah, and I mean, that's your only set of smokes for the attackers as well. So you cannot be able to cleave through that site. You cannot keep that site under lock and key as you want it to, the same way.
Hey, so if you're wondering how to defend on Oregon, or just in general in this meta, it seems, peek everything all the time.
Yeah.
Never stop. Never surrender. Yeah. Okay, so Fabian inside a tower, going to be challenging secretly who's going to be pushed down to Harry Potter. Skeleton Key out, though, for Fabian. He heard the footsteps, and he wants to take this fight. But he's going to be a little bit more cautious than some others would be. Cantor Ketty going to get his first kill, and the first kill for his team. Grenade coming out from Fabian. Is there an ADS is the question? No, but the fallback from Secretly, and he will go unscathed. Sees the foot of the Thatcher, though, and loses the fight to Pengu. Excellent gunplay there. And with the man advantage now, G2 are looking pretty strong despite that early pick they gave away.
Chaos very spread out over the map, and they've decided to hunker down over on Tarps, and Fabian will cut through Red Groove as the Valkyrie tries to retreat. It's going to leave Vital in really rough position, and he's going to get pinched from 2 angles. Fabian literally almost inside of his corpse. Renewals cannot win the fight against Canto Raketti, and G2 are just making this look easy. Chaos not really getting anything started on defense here. They lost 2 laundry supply rooms in a row, and I'd imagine we're going to go back up top to that second floor because you're not going to give G2 another opportunity to take out that bottom floor from you.
I don't know what this looks like to you, Parker, but to me it seems like somewhere along the line, Fabian said, I hate losing, so let's go start winning. Remember when that happened in the, what was it, the Invitational Finals against Evil Geniuses in between matches? Something along those lines, and G2 have been losing quite a lot this season, lots of draws as well, and it's almost like with these first 3 rounds at least, and honestly it looks like this trend is going to continue, G2 are trying to send a message. At least that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Because these rounds haven't just been all G2. I haven't even seen a whisper of chaos.
Good wordplay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Haven't really seen much get going outside of Fabian and Kanto Ricchetti, which is, it's kind of strange to see Fabian taking over Jonas's role here.
Actually, could we see that scoreboard again? Because I think I just saw, yeah, Fabian and Goga haven't died at all.
I mean, Goga not dying makes a lot of sense.
He hasn't gotten any kills either, and he's a support player. But
Yeah.
Fabian has 6 frags and he hasn't died. That's freaking crazy.
Here's one thing that is good news for G2. They're winning their gunfights.
Yeah.
Which is something that you really can't say outside of their Empire matchup. There were very limited opportunities where G2 was actually coming out ahead in a 1v1 fight.
And the layers of strategy required on Oregon are pretty shallow. It's pretty shallow. So winning your gunfights, pretty much, it's the name of the game. It's the what you need to do. And yep, G2 are doing it.
Yeah. And a lot of it also has to come down to the coordination. G2 were largely droning in by themselves in positions where they weren't doing too much.
In that last round, we almost saw Goga die when he was entering into tarps, but Fabian came up from behind because coordination.
Oh,
Speaking of Fabian, he's going to get another kill there on Vito.
It is absolutely lethal.
Completely exposed there in the entryway.
And now Fabian's just going to stay there and wait, anticipating somebody to peek him all the way from kitchen. Makes a lot of sense. Keep in mind that if it's Renewals who peeks him, the Doc will have an ACOG at his disposal, whereas Fabian running with the much closer holographic might be a disadvantage for the sweep. Good position for Kanto Ricchetti there, just by the mattress to shoot all the way into Kid Storms. Not uncommon for a defender to be sitting behind that. But obviously, Chaos understanding that, well, they vacated the premise.
Pengu gonna be back on that rappel. Now it's interesting that he's doing this. Oh, actually, he's just gonna go up to the roof. Kanto Ricchetti takes out Red Groove, and Crips will refrag. An aggressive peek there from the Bandit, and Pengu back on rappel. Again, curious that G2 are going for this rappel, considering they haven't technically cleared out tower as far as I could tell. They do know that tower is clear, though, as you can see, since Goga is in the attic. Vito is going to disconnect, but I believe he was already taken out, so not a huge problem there for Chaos as long as he gets back soon. Secretly is going to be taken down by Pengu, who is on that rappel on the north. Crips going for the aggressive plays, but he'll be shut down by Goga. And Jonas takes out Renewals in the junk tower. G2 get yet another round, and that's 4 in a row. But the momentum might be blunted if there is a rehost. We'll see if Fido is able to make it back in time. It's still possible for him to make it in, but it looks like the rehost has been confirmed by the admin, so we will be going to just that. That, again, is going to blunt the momentum of G2. They've put themselves up 4 rounds, and they looked very dominant in each and every one of those rounds. So, all things considered, I don't think it's going to slow them down too much.
At least the positive is that the one person who crashed was already out of the game.
Yeah, it was a non-factor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just caused the rehost. That's it. And in between rounds, so nice and comfortable.
Great job.
Not stuck in a wall.
Good job. Great job.
Fantastic.
All right. So let's break down exactly what we've seen. Dorms twice, laundry room twice.
Yep.
Chaos, sputtering, really not getting much at all under their feet. G2 are entering better. They're winning their gunfights better. They seem to be droning and working better as a team and as a cohesive unit.
They're not just winning their gunfights better, they're winning their gunfights, period, because we just really haven't been seeing any of that from Chaos at all.
Here's the scariest thing for me. G2 are in a bit of a lull, in a bit of a rut. We're looking at the Invitational. They go there. They're vulnerable. Unlikely that they'll go out in groups, but there's a likelihood that they might not make it to the finals the way that I think a lot of people are expecting. How much scarier is it if G2 starts to fire up the war machine, carries all this momentum through, and goes into the groups super hot?
Well, you know, if we're talking about G2 theory, then I've got my own. I think...
Tell us.
At the beginning of the season, it just seemed...
Tell us your theory, Michael.
You're gonna lean back there, Parker?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I'll lean back. Okay,
a little bit, one notch. But so my theory is basically this. From what we've been seeing from G2 so far this season, I think they maybe forgot why they are a team and what they want to do and what they're trying to accomplish, which is win. If we look at G2 at its raw, you know, at its nature, everything aside, what they are is a team that wants to win more than anything. That's it. And of course, yeah, every team wants to win, I hear you saying. But I think the reason G2 saw so much success for so long is because they wanted it more than anyone else. And I think for just the briefest moment at the beginning of the season, it's possible that they forgot that.
Yeah.
Maybe get distracted by one thing or another. It does happen. But in this match right here, like I said earlier, it seems almost as if G2 is trying to send a message. It seems a lot more like the G2 we're used to seeing. The ones that, are the world champions, that are the major champions, that have won so many tournaments. And it is, a lot of people were saying, hey, it's nice to see G2 losing for a change. Personally,
there were a lot of people who said that.
Yeah, personally, I'm on the boat of it's nice to see G2 back. Because this does right now seem like they are wide awake again and focused on what they set out to do in the first place, which is win matches, period. I'm guessing something happened between their last match and this that just spurred the fire, really got the fire going, and good.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
What? It doesn't have anything to do with anything I just said.
That the universe is back in equilibrium.
Well, yeah, but
that's what you're saying.
Well,
you're saying that it's glad that G2 is back.
If equilibrium is G2 winning all of their matches, then that's not balance, though.
No, but that's like it's the way it should be.
Okay.
Order is restored. Balance is restored.
All right. Doesn't have to be an Avengers joke.
It wasn't a joke. It was perfectly serious. Thanos did nothing
wrong.
All
right, Thanos.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
Where's your gauntlet, bro?
Thanos did nothing wrong. I would like that to be on the record.
Whoa!
He did nothing wrong.
Half of the population of the universe, okay. Wait, was it the universe or was it the galaxy? I actually don't remember.
It was the universe.
Was it? Okay. That's a lot of things.
Yeah, half. That's half.
Half.
50%.
So anyway, G2 are looking very good. They have 4 rounds. Chaos doesn't just have 0. They haven't done anything even remotely close to earning a round. Nothing at all. I mean, they're just out of it right now. Don't know what's going on with Chaos. Hopefully they wake up soon, because they are also a good team. But G2 just tearing through them.
5 seconds left.
It's been fast.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of Empire Lestream, which is crazy because Lestream is rank 2, Empire is rank 1 going into that match, and then Lestream wasn't even there, man. They did not show up. Chaos has yet to show up. It's the same thing.
All right. Back upstairs to dorms. They don't move laundry machines upstairs.
That would be really bad on your back.
Apparently, you do move tractors upstairs if you look at the new Hereford base.
Oh yeah.
Tractor on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
I'm no tractorologist, but I don't think that's I don't think that's where your tractor goes.
Why would there? How did they get that? That must have been really.
Who put that there?
Really annoying to set up.
G2 taking tower, like a lot of teams have focused on. We just saw it on the secret Mockit matchup as well. You take tower, and then you go from there. Attic only really reinforced over on the T side of things. The attic over towards the master side, completely open. And you have Kanto or Kenny with 2 breaching rounds, you can crack that wide open as well. So you can open it up and get the push all the way through. You're going to also probably try to take this generator while his Goga is rotated all the way around. And then you'll have Jonas somewhere, I don't know, over on the armory side of things. Vitalin playing inside of Armory will not have an ADS at his disposal, and he'll give his position away, and Jonas knows he's in there. As there goes another flash, and Jonas will swing on in. That's an easy follow-up, and the very first frag for G2 will be without much contest.
Yeah, easy is the best word to describe that. No ADSs, and the Jaeger is taken out by his nemesis, the throwable flashbang. Jonas trying to hold the angle into the main lobby. He's aware that there's somebody down there clearly, or he's just doing his job, which is flank watch. Renewals is the one, though, inside of Classroom, and he's waiting for an opportunity to likely C4 from below. Fabian's going to be throwing a nade into sight and trying to take out somebody, but here we go. Renewal's not using his C4. He's just going to shotgun the thermite charge. That's nice positioning and game sense to know exactly where that thermite would be going off.
G2 just anticipating somebody being over in small tower. Right calls, we see Red Groove getting away from it as quickly as he can. You know that you gotta get the Valkyrie over towards that side of things because it's a 5v4. One of those bodies can be positioned over watching flank watch. Secretly, desperately trying to take out Pengu, but no, diffuser goes down. and Chaos will now have to deal with the diffuser being all the way over
Attackers need
by
to
the
protect it.
doorway leading to Armory. It's a lockout now for G2 though, as they've been able to take up 3, make that 4 as Fabian takes out Renewals, and Crips will be in a very difficult position. Knowing that there's one on Highway, he'll try to take out Pengu, but won't be able to get it. And G2, an excellent round, all things considered. They'll take their 5th. Chaos have just been left off the board. Resume G2's reign of terror.
I think that was also a perfect round for G2. I'm not entirely sure, but it
all
looked like
5
a
of
perfect
them were
round.
left.
Yeah. So remember when I theorized that maybe the momentum from G2 might be blunted by the rehost?
Are you about to say you were wrong?
I was so wrong, as it turns out. Again, G2 absolutely dominant here in this match. Chaos have yet to really show up. I mean, like, they aren't really here yet. Maybe they will arrive somewhere in the second half, but this first half looks like it's going the way of G2, and that's a clear-cut fact.
What do you do as Chaos at this point?
Attackers
Dorms
need to
doesn't work,
locate
laundry
and
doesn't
defuse
work.
as many
Well,
bombs as they
Try
can.
tower.
try tower.
Why not? It's the same thing that we saw in the second match, remember? When Secret was defending, they couldn't defend anything. They got one defense hold on the bottom floor, and then they couldn't go to the bottom floor for the last round. So where'd they go?
Tower. Thank you for the affirmative fist bump there. You basically throw everything at the wall. You're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, if you're Chaos, and hope that something sticks.
I like how we're radio casting like our expressions on our face,
seconds
the
left.
fist bumps and whatnot. It's happening, guys. Believe in it.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think it's going to stick for Chaos.
Attackers have recovered their
They're
Oh, hey, would you look at this?
It's a dangerous play here from Renewals, but he's going to be read in too, and
He's a doc.
he can heal himself back up, but he's going to take even more shots, actually, as the aggression from G2 is just as much as Renewals was. You can see that G2 just doesn't give a hoot, and they're taking all of their fights whenever available. The stop destruction from Fabian on the skeleton key has been extremely important, pivotal even, for how G2 is playing this with the just push everything all the time mentality. No, it's been working out. Fantastic. Cantor Ketty's going to get a kill on the hole that Crips just opened up from above. And
It's his second, if I recall.
you know, and there's a third on to Secretly. So, Cantor Ketty having a good round so far. Just Fido and half's over. It's a 6-0.
Cantor Ricetti's going to get shut down with Vitalin playing inside of main lob, or inside of meeting hall. He, as well as Red Groove, will be holding off this rising tide as it looks to crash over the defense of Chaos. Vitalin doesn't have very much HP left to live with. Red Groove is also weakened. Excellent read from Fabian to take out Vitalin as he tries to rotate through the basement. And now Red Groove push all the way up towards the master side. Here the asphyxiating bolts go off for Jonas. The MPX is going to be a pea shooter at this distance. It's still just watching the hatch inside of Attic. We have half of the round to go here. But spotting the legs, Red Groove might just push a bit too early. And how funny is it that Red Groove got the very first Pro League 7-0 over Mockit, and now might be getting a 7-0 of their own. That was a beautiful shot from Pengu.
Yeah.
G2 up 6-0.
You know, I thought that the match where we saw at the beginning of the day, the Empire versus Lestream match, was going to be the most dominant match of the day.
Nope.
That's what I assumed going into this day. I don't know if you guys thought that was the same, but yeah, no, clearly not. Somehow, G2 is proving more dominant over Chaos than Empire proved over Lestream.
G2's first defense is Kitchen.
It's still early days, though. Maybe, just maybe, G2 are not going to fare so well in defense. But considering they're picking Kitchen, I'm guessing that they just want to fight people right now.
Well, actually, Michael, they're going to Kitchen because G2 is saving strats.
Yeah, they're saving their defense strategy of the basement and the top floor for Invitational.
That's why they haven't done so well as of late, because they're saving their strats.
Because Pro League clearly just doesn't matter when you compare it to the Invitational.
I can't wait to interview Fabian if they win and ask him, hey, how many strats are you saving? Can I get a number?
Parker, you should, can we stop this?
Yes, we can stop it.
Okay. No, but you should totally ask him that. That's a good question.
I'm not going to ask him. That's a terrible
Are you
question.
saving strats, Fabian? And then he can yell at you. And
I'm going to save my interview questions for the Invitational as well.
you're going to save...
5 seconds to go.
He's saving questions. That's why this interview sucks.
I mean, the Invitational matters so much. That's why. They want to save their strats. I'm going to save my questions. Save all my best questions for the biggest moment. So.
All right, well, so Kitchen, and I'm guessing this is because G2 just wants to take fights and win fights, and that's why they've gone to the Kitchen, so that they can do just that. Chaos are obviously going to be a little bit intimidated by this, or I would assume they would be. They probably should be, considering how this match has been playing out.
It's been a quick match, so to speak. This deployable shield will allow bandit tricking here, and G2 can peek at their leisure.
I like the way you say leisure.
Look at G2 Esports. They got 3 ACOGs, and they got 2 Speedy Boys. That's basically the way it's going to work. You put Kanto and Jonas on the 2 GSG9 operators. They are the Speedy Boys.
They are Speedy Boys.
Renewals is waiting for the peek onto tower, and one body is going to go on that direction. It's going to be Fabian, and say goodbye. You're not going to be able to peek much. He is the doc. Well, he is not the doc in this case, as Fabian went all the way over to the top of T3 to try and go for a peek, maybe even T2, but he gets cut down.
I think he's just trying to hold on to that angle and protect his bandit, who is bandit tricking one wall. This is a very dangerous play from G2, at least them very exposed. And it will be punished, as nobody's holding lockers. Curious strategy here from G2. And Kanto Raketti, uncharacteristically going to miss some shots there, but Goga won't. Vitaline goes down, and with Crips on low HP, G2 are still in this round. As much as they've dropped those early frags, they could potentially bring it back. And what a shot from Pengu! Seeing just the tip of the hat there on the Habana and taking down secretly. Crips will be reset, so he's back in this match and can influence the round once more. But where we saw Chaos take the early lead and advantage, it's slipped away.
Got some nice coverage here as well from the Ash of Crips, as you mentioned, being reset, but Kanto Raketti trying to keep G2 perfect for the time being. Goga eliminating renewals. This one is gonna be over. Kanto Raketti cleaning up, and after a 7-0 over Mockit, it's gonna be a 7-0 over them as Chaos falls, and G2 absolutely obliterates Chaos Esports Club.
So again, the way that I would like to describe this match is G2 sending a message, because it really did seem that way. I mean, I think they're maybe a little bit frustrated by the draw that they just suffered in their previous match, and they were expecting to win that. Now going into this one, they wouldn't take anything other than an absolutely one-sided victory.
It's been a rough start for G2, and this is more like what we're used to seeing. I'm not really too surprised there to have them be as dominant as they were. But I think the bigger story in a 7-0 victory for G2 is not actually about G2. It's about Chaos. They had a great start. They looked really good through 3 games, and now they have gone from bad to worse to awful in 3 games. Now, the good thing is that a 7-0 is essentially rock bottom, so they can climb back from that at some point. You can't really get lower than 7-0. You can't jump out of a basement window.
It's true.
So you basically are in a position where even if you win one round of the next game, well, that's an accomplishment. So for Chaos, I don't know what's going wrong with this team. The bans that seem to affect them, it seemed like on defense, losing that Maestro was incredibly important for them. You put renewals on the mute instead. That's very difficult for them, and they just didn't look like they knew what was going on. And also, Chaos just got outgunned.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing with G2. G2 are so accurate. They don't miss their shots. They were hitting them today. And the rest of it went in favor of G2 because secretly in the rest of the team, on Chaos just couldn't outgun them.
Every single time Chaos had an advantage in a round, they managed to squander it. How, just as you said, they got outgunned. And it's really that simple.
Yeah. So we have an interview with G2, and we'll bring them up and actually get to talk to them. Hello, Fabian. Nice to see you.
Oh, I wish I could say the same, Parker.
Thank you, Fabian.
You're welcome.
You you can't even hear kicks. Hopefully you can hear kicks on the microphone.
Yeah, I could hear that.
Oh, a 7-0 today. The team has had some struggles, and I wanted you to be able to elaborate on that. You put in a good performance against Empire yesterday. Empire, who have looked like one of the best teams in Europe, this region so far. Yesterday, you were able to come back. You drew it. You didn't get the victory that you were looking for. If you want, touch on what your team has been improving on and why you seem to be a different team over the last 2 play days, 3 play days than you were at the start of the season.
I mean, we've been saving so much strats, and we've been kind of taking a vacation. I went to Hawaii for 3 weeks, and I actually played from there. No, we've just played bad. We had a bad performance for a while. Shit happens. You know, every team is going to have bad performances sometimes. But, I mean, if you know your history, we've been like the US in World War II, awakening the giant. We just needed a wake-up call. And, I mean, we played decent against Empire. We should have won that game, I think. We did some mistakes that managed to give them the game, and now we seem to be back on track. I think mentality-wise, it's the most important part.
And you're heating up at the right time. You're about to be heading into the Invitational as well. You're obviously going to be looking to repeat as winners of that. When you approach a team like Chaos, they started the season off really strong as well. Adding Vittel into that roster, they did look like their coordination was working better. But you obviously were able to exploit that. You exploited it very well. It was a 7-0 today, and there weren't many rounds that looked that close either. How do you prep for a team like that, especially when adding Vittel in? Because Chaos has been hitting their shots for the most part, and looking like they're working much better as a unit. Today, you picked them apart one by one. What was the strategy behind that?
I think that no matter what happens in our season, even if we have, 4 bad games, we're still the best team in the world. I just think that we are. We have the best shots. We have the best strategy. I just think we're the best team in the world no matter what happens, even if we play bad for a while. So I think that we managed to come back from pretty much any kind of bad performance that we had. And after that, I don't know if we really prepared that much for Chaos. It's more that we just went there and played our game, and then if they can't keep up with our game, then we won it.
How much does confidence play into your ability to frag and play as a unit? Because I noticed in particular, prior to your Empire matchup, the team was entering largely solo, and you were missing an uncharacteristically high amount of shots. Today, that wasn't the case. Today, you actually won a lot of gunfights that you got basically dropped on by Chaos, but were still able to outmuscle them simply based on aim. Does confidence play a major factor in that to be able to let the team actually win their gunfights, or is that just more prep work and good drone work to help them?
No, self-confidence is everything in any FPS game. If you have the self-confidence and you believe in yourself that you're going to win the fight before you take it, you've pretty much already won it. And then if you're a better shot, like I said, I think we have the best shots. Then we should win them as long as we have self-confidence, which we had today.
Well, it was genuinely nice hearing from you. Good luck in your matchup on the 31st. Good luck in your prep as well for the Invitational. Anything to say to the fans, etc., before we end the interview?
No, I'm just happy that the fans have stuck around with us, even if we had a bad few weeks. Stuff happens. We're happy to be back, and I'll see you next week in the next interview.
Take care, Fabian. Thanks for the day.
See you later.
Thank you.